right, welcome everyone to our August edition of EngRes The Gathering. Excited to have you here. Here is our agenda for the day. We'll do a quick welcome, lots of project updates, more projects joining every day. So we'll get some new intros from folks that haven't gotten a chance to present their projects before. We've got some spotlights across really awesome events and gatherings and some also cool updates and announcements for some projects, and then a deep dive on upcoming Filecoin and Protocol Lab Network events that are happening in Q4. So get excited. If you want to follow along with the deck, leave comments, ask questions, scan this QR code, and you can follow along as we go. Cool. So if you haven't been here before, as a reminder, Protocol Labs is this wonderful network of humans that ranges across many different open source projects, startups, community projects that are driving breakthroughs in computing to push humanity forward. We span the research and development pipeline, made up of all of these really beautiful projects, many of which are in the early research stage, and then a number of which crossing the chasm into large-scale production usage. And our job here in the EngRes working group is to help share some of the latest breakthroughs in protocol utility and capability so people can take advantage of them, support all of the network native research and development efforts that are happening and connect it with each other, and then grow these open source projects, networks, and communities so that other people can benefit from them and contribute to them. Some recent launches and upcoming things to highlight. There's some really amazing work that the Curio team has done implementing SupraSeal, which is a huge new breakthrough for many Filecoin storage providers. They're in production usage with, I think, 5 SPs on mainnet and more to come. So if you are a Filecoin storage provider, go check out Curio and take advantage of it. The PL Dev Guild V0 cohort is well underway. I think we've just crossed our midpoint with that first cohort, and they're participating across all open source projects. We'll get an update from that from Katie in a sec. NV23, network version 23, launched on Filecoin mainnet a couple weeks ago, bringing non-interactive POREP, Filecoin fast finality, and other awesome new upgrades. Also found a new project out there. If anyone's heard of NewNet, they just integrated IPFS and libp2p into their decentralized compute network. So really awesome to see new projects jumping in and using these building blocks to help power their use cases. Also, if you haven't checked it out yet, there is a new website in town, inbrowser.link, which uses Helia to do IPFS service worker gateways. So if you're tired of relying on centrally managed services, you just want to run it all in your own darn browser, go here, install your service worker gateway, and you can load all of your IPFS CIDs all yourself, running your own little gateway node and making it super easy, all with the power of JavaScript. So those are some of the recent things to celebrate. If you want to include your thing here, just message us. There'll be an email link at the end, and we can include this in recent launches. Looking forward, we'll have an update on the Filecoin Retro PGF Round 2, which is going to be kicking off, I believe, next month-ish, coming this fall. And so get involved if you want to recognize and reward impact. If you're working on a project, get it going, get that impact created so that you can qualify for rewards here. If you are a active contributor in the Filecoin ecosystem, there's also an open badge holder application process. And so lots of ways to get involved. We'll also hear a little bit more about the next cohort of PL Dev Guild. I've already got a couple of humans that I've referred into this next cohort, but going to kick off in October. Going to be really amazing to include even more new OSS contributors into the many participating projects. Also, everyone should get ready for hot storage fall. I'm coining it here, but maybe we'll iterate on the framing. But it's really amazing to see all of these data L2s building and iterating in the Filecoin ecosystem to onboard and really focus on Web3 use cases and applications. So we've got different folks targeting different areas, from AI and compute to DePIN networks to social media and gaming applications, and really, onboarding a group of users who haven't had a great on-ramp onto Filecoin in the past. So really excited to see that happening. And everyone here hopefully is getting super energized for meeting up as an ecosystem at our next big gathering in Thailand in November. There's going to be tons and tons of events. We'll hear more about it in our deep dive. But there's also going to be a number of hacker houses and residencies and other things leading up to that. So everyone, gird your energies to go spend a chunk of time in the Asia time zone, move all your meetings, like let's go really hang out together and make it happen there. Speaking of events, we've got some upcoming events in August and September. Hopefully we're welcoming people back from DWeb Camp, where folks, I'm sure, had a really amazing experience, and from Web3 Summit, which just wrapped up. I am here at the Aleph Ciudad de Crecimiento here in Argentina. So that's been an awesome event that's been happening throughout August. And looking forward to next month, we have the Filecoin Seoul Network Base happening in South Korea. We have Phil Singapore alongside Token 2049, Solana Breakpoint there as well, and then Masari Mainnet in New York. So lots of exciting new events to meet up at and share what we're working on. All right, over to project updates, starting with Dave for libp2p.
Yeah, so thank you, Molly. libp2p is a community surrounding a set of specifications for modular peer-to-peer networking at global scale. We have implementations in your favorite programming language. I'm happy to report that, we're like 2/3 of the way through the year-ish, a little bit past halfway, and we're starting to show some real strong growth across all implementations in libp2p. Python libp2p continues to grow now that the AI industry knows about us, and the IPFS and Filecoin have taken pretty strong presence in the market for storing AI data. The .NET libp2p maintainers call started this week. It's first time ever, and it immediately had 4 people showing up. We're starting to see outside contributors to the .NET libp2p. I do want to call out that the Go libp2p needs some help. It is a critical piece of infrastructure for many blockchains and distributed networks like IPFS, Filecoin, Polygon uses it, Optimism uses it, and Ethereum uses it. You would think there would be a lot of people involved, but it needs more love. So if you have any interest at all in any of those networks, you're curious about Go libp2p, I encourage you to look up the next meeting and come drop in, and we'll see if there's an opportunity for you to help. And there was one last thing I want to call out here. I wanted to thank everybody in the libp2p community, because we have, since the beginning of the year, doubled the number of meetings and tripled the number of people who are attending. So we're now up to averaging like almost 5 people per meeting. And that's up from just under 3 at the beginning of the year. And I think that is a much truer measurement of the support the community has for the project. And it doesn't show up in any of our other KPIs. So I just wanted to call that out. Thank you, everybody, for showing up and caring about it. So the last one here is just our normal technical updates. This is just to document all the releases, some of the highlights in the current release. We had 2 really big updates in the last couple of weeks. Go libp2p had a new release that fixes a number of issues. Rust libp2p also has some key performance improvements. And as you can see, JS libp2p released this month, so did Nim. Let's see, Python was last month, and I did call this out. We didn't have a meeting, but this was the first release of Python libp2p in 4 years. So there is new life being breathed into that project as we speak. And JVM, we're hoping to get a new release this fall. They received some of the libp2p retro money, and I think they're also applying for some Optimism retro PGF money. So hopefully that'll breathe some new energy there. And C++ and .NET, they're still cranking along. We're still seeing people showing up, people submitting code. So libp2p is strong, healthy, and growing slightly. So thank you, everybody, for all your contributions and caring for libp2p. Back to you, Molly.
Woo. Perfect. Also loved the PL Dev Guild call out to our new contributors from there. Awesome. Over to Filecoin land. Lauren, I think you start.
Thanks. The mission of Filecoin is to create a decentralized, efficient, and robust foundation for humanity's information. So this is just a brief look at the Filecoin H2 2024 community roadmap. First, storage adoption is a key focus this half, aiming to store deep-in compute and AI networks in Filecoin. Major milestones include Basin launching a public testnet, Akave Beta L2 bringing on-chain data lakes for compute and AI, and then Storacha rolling out a hot storage testnet by the end of this quarter. Moving on to Web3 tools, we're working on making Filecoin the foundational storage layer for Web3, emphasizing fast data retrieval. Some key initiatives are F3 fast finality, which enables quick and secure cross-chain transactions, proof of data possession, which is a new hot storage primitive coming to Filecoin, and then Filecoin Web Services, which will support proof of data possession and other data retrieval services. Finally, under growth, we're committed to expanding the Filecoin economy and community. Some highlights include PhilGov Summit in Thailand, promoting growth through community events, secured finance, launching a PhilBack stablecoin in Q4, and then Phil Retro PGF kicking off the second round in September and October. If you have any launches or milestones to share with the community, please reach out to be included in the next update. Thanks.
Awesome. Orion, tell us about NV23.
Yeah, so NV23, we shipped that successfully on the Filecoin mainnet about 2 weeks ago now. It included like fast finality, often called F3, in passive testing mode. So fast finality aims to speed up the finality by 450x from 900 epochs down to 2 epochs or so. You can subscribe to the Lotus discussion forum ticket 12287 to get bi-weekly updates on the passive testing effort. And you can also monitor F3 metrics via Prometheus debug metrics endpoint on your Lotus node. We did find a bug which caused a bandwidth traffic spike on people's nodes due to a pub impact node syncing performance or blocks produced in the network, but it was important that we shipped a patch release fast, so that one is out, and we recommend everyone to upgrade to the latest version. For the Ethereum legacy transaction support, we've seen a lot of transactions landing with a couple of spikes to over like 1,000 legacy transactions landing in under 1 hour window. I think it actually was around like 5 minutes or so, but someone is definitely testing this feature out. And we also seen the couple of first NI power-up sectors onboarded to the mainnet, and we expect that we'll see more sectors landing over the next couple of weeks as people ramp up with the new pipeline.
Tom, tell us about the next Phil Retro PGF.
Hey, thanks, Molly. So Phil Retro PGF is back. It seems like we've hardly been gone, but we are back, and we've got a snazzy new logo. Before I say anything else, I will say, if you haven't joined the Telegram group for Phil Retro PGF, this is where we're going to be posting all the all information. There's QR code on the screen. Super quick recap on round 1 before giving more information on round 2. So round 1 had 224K Phil donated by IPFS, Web3 Mine, and Titan, allocated to 25 badge holders to over 95 projects. The purpose of why we're doing this is to sustain public goods and incentivize and support new projects. And it's been awesome this week to hear about new projects reaching out and saying, hey, how can we apply for the next round? Key thing also to highlight, just before giving you more details for round 2, some of the principles and features of this round. So it's super open. You don't need to ask anybody's permission, just build it and submit an application. And fingers crossed, it's judged well by the badge holders and gets funded. The program relies on collective decision making. So there's a high number of badge holders, and this is much better than the wisdom or expertise of any single individual. The program has to be efficient. So it has to be efficient in terms of time and cost. And this is really where we can compete traditional funding programs. And with every round, we need to keep on learning. And this is something we're doing. So you should treat it like open source software. If you see a bug in the process, submit a pull request and we'll fix it. Finally, we're scaling up. So we need to keep getting bigger in terms of the number of projects and the funding. And we need to do this super regular. Okay, so I know I'm going on too much, but round 2 details. We've been listening to Daft Punk, but we are definitely going to be bigger, faster, and better. There's going to be more badge holders. There's going to be more funding. This is confirmed. We've got a new scoring function. It's minor technical detail, but this should make it easier to understand the scoring. It will also keep a long tail in the distribution of funding, but also make the top projects hopefully get even higher funding. We're going to give more category-specific guidance and have a generally sleeker process. More details on this to follow soon. DRIPS integration is underway. The Gelato Oracle, I think, is working now. So we're expecting to distribute fill in round 2 using DRIPS. We're highlighting specific high-impact areas this time. So the things we want to see applications for are data on-ramps, successful client stories, apps that increase usability, on-chain payments with FEM, advances in fundamental protocol R&D, bringing in new connections from outside the ecosystem, and high-quality tools. Applications kick off in mid-September. More information to follow soon. Thanks again to all the funders and ops teams. And if you're interested in contributing to the round, we're still accepting donors. Thank you, everyone.
Exciting days. Everyone prepare your submissions. James, tell us a bit about FDS number 5.
Thanks, Molly. This is James from Philos. Hey, everybody. As Molly mentioned at the beginning, the next PhilDev Summit, the last PhilDev Summit of 2024 is in Bangkok, and we have a few details for you. Its location is going to be the Gaeson Urban Resort, and it's going to be taking place on November the 6th to the 8th, 2024. We have a few track themes already in mind. The ever-popular Filecoin roadmap. We're going to be talking about product market fit, which is a very hot topic at the moment. We're going to be talking about data application, service provider growth and enablement, chain tooling and infra, Phil Plus. We're going to have a Chinese speaking roundtable for our APAC friends, and of course the usual workshops and unconf. Register now. Registration is already open. We have a crazy early bird special offer of $20. It isn't going to last forever, and spaces are limited. It's already looking like it's going to be a very popular event across the DevCon period. So please do check that out. And we are obviously looking for people who'd like to speak. We're looking for sponsors, any scholar applicants who would like to apply. Check out the links there. You've got all of them. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us in Slack at PhilDev Summit. There's quite a few links there, but if you want to scan the handy Linktree QR code at the top, it will give you all of those in one easy place. Thanks very much. See you in Bangkok.
Woohoo! And if anyone does get there early, there's going to be some really awesome gatherings in Chiang Mai that you can hear about. Funny the Commons is running a residency. There's a number of other ways to get involved early and hang out with your best friends. So keep that in mind. All right, Basin update.
Quick recap, Basin is this data L2 that is enabling object storage using the IPC subnet architecture, and we have clients on top of it like S3, an S3 adapter, which lets you use like traditional object storage tooling alongside Basin, and all of the the chain mechanisms are using the IPC framework for that subnet scaling. We have some new features that are coming, including an IRA integration for like stream-friendly fast ingest data, and under the hood it's using like Lake 3 as the hashing mechanism there. There's also some, along the infrastructure side of things, we've been working on a public testnet, so that'll be coming up here shortly, where we're migrating things over to some actual bare metal that we're running. So keep an eye out for once that is fully live in the coming weeks. And then just on the ecosystem side, we're sponsoring ETH Online currently. I think it starts tomorrow, runs through the first couple of weeks of September, I think to the 13th. But all of our prizes are focused on using Basin and onboarding data sets, essentially, or using it somehow with that object storage system. So yeah, hopefully we have some builders that are going to use it there. And in case you're curious, we're getting started. We have a demo repo I'm slowly migrating things over there, but it has like a HTTP server example, very simple like ML pipeline example for just like ways you can use Basin in these different use cases.
Thanks so much, Dan. Some great updates, and I'm sure everyone's super excited for public testnet. If you don't already have a sign up list, put one out so that people can be notified when they're able to join.
Hey everyone. Yes, fire. If you like it hot, if you like fire, Storacha is building an awesome decentralized storage network. Very excited for hot storage fall. Looking forward to that Filecoin Megan the Stallion collaboration. Be really awesome if we can make that happen. Some stuff we're up to. Let's do one. Yeah, we just released our new Storacha branded access to our applications. We're doing, you know, a whole rollout of our website, new, basically, for those of you who don't know, Storacha is emerging from the Web3 storage team as well as some others. And so we're building on top of Web3 storage technology. We just rebranded everything to be for Storacha. We are also already doing some pretty big partnerships in deep in gaming. There's a couple up on our blog, and there will be more announced soon. We are just now launching first class Golang support. We shipped a pretty complete Go You Can implementation of all of our sort of protocol layer. And the nice thing about this is that it's going to get the Go You Can stuff much more up to date with the current spec. And then we've also shipped some migration tools from the older versions of various platforms we run, NFT Storage Classic and Web3 Storage. But I'm excited to tell you all what we're putting forward for DevCon. We are targeting a pretty big release for DevCon. We're going to be having our own event in Thailand, so please keep an eye out for that. Yes, we are going to be shipping super fast, large file downloads to power DPIN networks for both gaming and AI. This is a big request. We really want to give people a really great service here, so we're going to be doing that. Big thing that a lot of folks have been asking for, which is we're going to go pretty deep into private data and protected read access. So you can store not only your public data on Storacha, but your private data. And then the one that you've probably heard a little bit about, just to be clear, we will be launching this federated storage testnet in November at DevCon, not at the end of Q3, which is the end of September, just to make sure everyone knows that. And that is going to be a collaboration. This will be more of an engineering collaboration because we are going to be working very closely with Philos and Curio to ship this network using Filecoin's proof of data possession. And we think we've got a really good plan there. We're really excited to work with these teams. They are and you know, we are all super aligned, I think, at this point, and I think it's going to be a really great launch. Cool. If you want to hear more about exactly how we'll be using Filecoin, we have a YouTube channel up. Didn't put a link in here, but you can Storacha is a weird enough word that you can search it on YouTube and find our channel. And this will give you the rundown of how it's going to work. And in the meantime, we are uploading a whole lot of data onto Filecoin. All that green, that's us. We're putting tips on Filecoin every day. So that's it. All right, thanks, y'all. 3 minutes.
Definitely go check out the awesome videos on Storacha. I literally have some of these downloaded on my phone that I'm looking forward to watching on my next plane flight. So exciting days.
Yeah, IPFS, a way of doing content addressing in a way that multiple people can agree on. This is like an update from Shipyard from 3 different buckets. So I'll try to go over them very quickly, but we have workflows around Helia SDK, which is a JavaScript implementation of IPFS and also uses JSL P2P. Work on V2 is in progress. We also want to have a JS bootstrapper to increase the resiliency of the network, to not be dependent on just Go code and libraries. A bunch of improvements landed, connection manager metrics. We removed deprecated dependencies, WebRTC optimizations landed. And there is a, for end user tech demo preview, we have this nice verified fetch library, which now can be tested as inside of a service worker in browser.link. It's still alpha quality, but you can see how much can be done in just browser. And Speaking about WebRTC, on the Go side of things, we just landed this today Kubo 30 RC1, which enables WebRTC direct listener by default. So now the fleet of the Kubo swarm will be useful for the browser nodes. Over like WebRTC Direct, this is not the only bet for improving connectivity in the browser. It's one of them. And this is probably the most important rollout, but we also rolled out AutoNAT v2 from the P2P. We have a very important bit swap fixes and optimizations, and a bunch of fixes related to NATed peers and hole punching not working before got addressed here, and also in Rainbow and some guy. And we have EngRes 1.5 with optional mode and modification time preserving as a part of the DAC-PB. And of course, if you include those, CID will change, but that's a feature, not a bug. And the section we've added this time is Waterworks, which is public good utilities, which Shipyard also maintains. So the check website that you can use now correctly will do the NAT traversal, and we show you which of the multiple multi-others succeeded. Delegated routing is now capable to talk to peers which are in certain difficult NATed topologies. And the bad bits implementation at public gateway got a revamp now. Once the bad bit is blocked, added to the list, the reaction time got cut down from 1 hour to 5 minutes. So once the list updates, within 5 minutes, the public gateway blocks it, and also the cache eviction happens. So even if it was loaded before, it will not longer load from cache, and that includes Cloudflare cache. I think that's it. There are links if people are interested. Sorry for it being long, but we've added one more section.
No, it's great. Thanks, Lytle, and really awesome to hear on UnixFS. It's been a long time coming. Fantastic. Now over to Huddle. Give us an update on what's happening with Huddle 01.
What is Huddle 1? Huddle 1 is a decentralized real-time communication network. Basically, this call which we're doing on Zoom is one example of real-time communication. So product updates, we've got a lot of them. So our Huddle 1 Meet application has been revamped. There's a new dashboard here. After a lot of requests, we've gotten email logins, which is with the pre-existing Vault logins. You can directly schedule calls from the platform now. Simpler access to recordings and meeting analytics. Even the mobile app has gone a UI overhaul. Direct call scheduling again from the app. Much better performance and stability. With the new launch, we've also added 2 new subscription tiers. The Pro tier is for individual power users who want higher limits for recording storage and higher peer limits. And we've also got a business offering for organizations and communities with like custom user interface, like you can theme it around it. You get multi-streaming, which is basically you can stream the call directly to LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch at the same time. And some new cool special features which are going to come. Yes, you go to huddle1.app, that's the application platform. Next slide. So this is another application which our team has built internally for the Farcaster community. Basically a Twitter Spaces-like experience for Farcaster. And over the past 3 months, we've seen very good activity. 6,000 user signups, 400,000 minutes spent on the platform, and the top Farcaster users like betashop.eth from hashtag Jason, yes, and a lot of other top FC users are using it. Small updates have been passed, like you can now play background music, you can tip individual creators and peers inside of the room through base, and some UX improvements. So go follow Farcaster on Farhouse on Webcast and also Farcaster. So the previous 2 applications I talked about are built on top of the Huddle 1 SDK. We've got a major suite of SDKs. The top, which are highly used, are the React and the Web Core, which are the JavaScript SDKs. We've got a server-side SDK too for node environments. We just released our Huddle 01 Unity SDK. We've got WebGL support for now, and we've built like a cool game around uh, like Parkour, and then you can basically talk to people. That's an example app for people to understand how the implementation is. The new Flutter SDK too. So this was built in collaboration with people from the Orb app. It's a Lens client, and that is also live now. And the Kotlin SDK is undergoing testing. Very, very soon it'll also be launched. And we've got Farhouse, we've got Huddle01 Meet, Butterfly, Soul Media, MailChain, etc. All were using the Huddle01 SDK for RTC. So we just unveiled our light paper at ETHCC this year. We basically did a lot of L2, L1 Solana research, and we kind of found that an Arbitrum-based L3 suited our needs. We've completed the first implementation of the media node, which is written in TypeScript, Rust, C++, for the media engine, and registry nodes. Shout out to the Golub P2P team. We heavily use Golub P2P for our registry nodes for both PubSub, and we also use IPFS Lite for a lot of CRDT level stuff. The contracts for testnet are kind of tested and ready. Our current focus is preparing for our testnet launch, which is around mid-October. Continuing to work on the white paper, and we've really learned from the IPFS, the P2P and protocol, Filecoin team to write a protocol specification. So we're trying to do that, and it's a work in progress. And there's a lot of research and development going on the crypto economics of RTC, because it's a bit complicated. How should payments work? How should rewards work? How should gas fee work, etc., etc. So that's our current focus. I think that's it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the fantastic update, Arush. Definitely on that crypto economic side, we haven't yet chatted with Crypto Econ Lab. I'm sure there's some humans who would love to share any advice or expertise they can. Woohoo. Okay, over and on to our spotlight, starting with Dietrich for IPFS in space and presenting that at conferences.
Hey, everybody. If you've been around here a while, perhaps you remember earlier this year, seems like 10 years ago, January, we announced that we did a demonstration, a collaboration with Lockheed Martin that actually put an IPFS implementation in Rust on a satellite, and it communicated with Earth. So we actually had communication with IPFS and demonstrated that. Got a lot of interest from various companies in space. And this year at the AIAA Ascend conference, considered the Super Bowl of space, regards that comes with lots of both commercial, public, and other types of academic and research organizations. The Lockheed Martin team presented this work and showcased it in one of the tracks there. It was great to be able to get this project in front of far more eyeballs, and a place where people can make decisions around choosing open standards technologies, people with an interest in understanding decentralized technologies promise over the next decade or so in the space technology industry, and be able to answer back. One of the things that Matthew Westcott, who presented the paper, said is that afterwards a ton of people came up and had questions. A lot of these technologies are still really new in this area. So it was a really good opportunity for us to be able to get IPFS out in front of this audience. Thanks.
So cool. Glad hopefully all of our spacefaring enablers start using IPFS for it. Awesome. On to David for Funding the Commons update.
All right, thank you. Yeah, we had an incredible Funding the Commons Tokyo, which just concluded in July. We had some, for the first time, very high-level representatives from the public sector, Japanese government, and United Nations. And it was, an incredible kind of meeting of the minds. And Beth, you want to provide update here?
Yeah, so we are super excited to have 2 days coming up for the Funding the Commons pop-up Designing for Future Economies at Koshiminto on Monday and Tuesday. So I don't know if anyone, in addition to Molly, will be joining down in Argentina, and I very much hope that you'll come by as well. But we are super excited about these very LATAM focused days of considering token engineering, considering local building that's happening, and really engaging with all the exciting stuff happening in the community there. So here's two links for our 2 days, and I hope that you guys will check it out and come join us.
And one more quick plug for the upcoming Public Goods Builder residency in Chiang Mai. I put a link in the chat, and we are actively looking for IPFS, Filecoin, libp2p builders. So please send us your builders.
Woohoo! Nudge, nudge. Any of our PLDs who are on the call, might be a cool opportunity if you can join in Thailand to get to be in sync with some of the projects you're contributing to. Speaking of Crecimiento, Aleph, the pop-up city that's happening here in Buenos Aires as part of the Crecimiento movement. There's nearly 2,000 citizens of this pop-up city, which is just crazy and impressive for something that really only kicked off as a movement a couple of months ago. There's been 300 plus talks and workshops. There's 67 startups building out of the startup hub. 77 sponsors, and they're reaching, millions of users here in Argentina, which is pretty cool as well. There's a whole cohort of like 20 plus, shops and merchants across this area of Buenos Aires that are accepting a pop-up city token and innovating and trialing out new technology in practice with these communities, and a lot of new teams building. There's actually gonna be a hackathon this weekend that James is currently stuck at Regulation Day, where we have all of the members of kind of Argentinian political system, folks from the city of Buenos Aires, folks from the national government, economic and policy advisors who are checking out what this crazy movement means for how they can better support and create systems for startups who are building and innovating using this tech here. So if any of you do have an opportunity to hop down to the last week next week, it'd be really, really awesome. I'm unfortunately not going to be here, but you can go to the Funding the Commons pop-up. You can see the amazing startups during their demo day. It's going to be a really good time. So would highly recommend. There's some QR codes here to watch the recap video or get involved and join the wiki. On to Katie for PL DevGuild update.
All right. Hey, everyone. So nice to see you all. Wanted to give a brief update on the PLDG and some of the great work we've been doing. Again, our goal at PLDG is to lead with making improvements to open source technologies and elevate the next generation of open source leaders. Right now, we are in our cohort 0, our pilot cohort that we started with. We distributed over 2,500 fill, which is great, to over 16 participants. We've had 15 plus successful PRs, including updating the Filecoin Solidity library. And a lot of these PRs have been ensuring that dependencies aren't being misled, ensuring that doing some bug fixes, a lot of refactoring, which has been really good. Some of our current cohort projects that are being worked on like this week are adding more Helia Angular examples and a Filecoin starter kit and refactoring all of that, which is going to be really exciting. And this also includes, there's other folks in PLDG who are doing user testing on this. So it's not just creating this, but it's also doing the user testing as well. Wanted to throw it out here. Cohort 1 is launching October 1st. We have 2 calls to action. The first is that the Cohort 1 applications will open Sunday, so definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. The start date is October 1st, and the applications are due September 16th. If you know anyone who would be a good fit for this program, definitely reach out and refer them. Second call to action is becoming a tech partner. Reach out to us by September 1st to be considered. We've had some amazing tech partners with Phil Oz, IPFS, libp2p. And what we require for tech partners is having clear issues for participants so that they can make impact, and being able to give timely feedback, and additionally providing mentorship as well. And this is open to all teams in the PL ecosystem that are focused on open source technologies. So those are the updates we have for you.
Woohoo! Katie, if you could drop a couple of links for where to refer humans, that would be amazing, because I have humans I'd love to send to both of these. It's an awesome program, everyone. You should really, really get involved and route your favorite humans to it.
I will drop that right now. Thank you.
Perfection. Cool. Over Ruben, tell us about DB Forest.
Hi, yeah, Ruben from DB Forest. We're a decentralized cloud marketplace that's on a mission to get rid of vendor lock-in and help you ensure that you always have the best price. New project going through GPC. We're serving both Web 2 and DWeb users right now, focusing on databases that the name implies, but S3 is coming out soon, Ceramic, Orbis DB, and many others. It's a cloud, so we'll have many things. And yeah, we'll be at ETH Warsaw. If anyone is there, happy to team up. Or in general, if you have developers that are looking to get out of vendor lock-in, connect with us, and we'd love to help.
Fantastic. Okay, Rokan, your last spotlight on getdata.ai.
Sure. Thank you, Malik. Since our last gathering, we have updated our UI, and based on the feedback from our clients, we have updated the public and private repositories. And also, we have some new partners from DeSci and Storacha. These DeSci companies, we will onboard them on Filecoin and IPFS, and Titan Storage and Lighthouse will give us the technology to onboard DeSci projects on Filecoin and IPFS. So this is the update. You can move to next slides. Thank you.
And now over to our deep dive with Elsa on upcoming Filecoin event.
Hi, I'm Elsa. I'm part of the Filecoin Foundation events team. I dropped a lot of links in the chat that I'll be referring to. But our Filecoin events, so we have a busy fall. In September, we will be going to Singapore around Token 2049. Our Orbit ambassadors, MetaPals, will be hosting Phil Singapore, Web3 Wonderland, and this is a supported by FF event. We're also hosting a Filecoin SP meetup. So registration link should be in the chat for that. And then in November, we are headed to Thailand around DevCon in Bangkok. Like Molly and James mentioned, there will be a Phil Dev Summit within our network base, so registration is there, as well as a big Phil Bangkok main stage. Included the registration link. If you are interested in sponsoring and partnering, I included my Telegram handle as well as our sponsorship salesperson's Telegram handle in the chat. And then be sure to join our Telegram group to learn more. Okay, yes, this is for the PLN events. There are a lot going on in Singapore right now, as you can see. I just wanted to point out, if you are going to Singapore, please log on to the IRL gathering link, and please note that you're there so people can network. Lab Week. Lab Week will be in Bangkok from November 7th to 13th, and there's the calendar of events there. But that is it from me.
Woohoo! Hopefully everyone is excited and energized to go spend some time together in person. Definitely grab some of these QR codes or some of the links. We have the slides as well, which can drop in. And thank you all so much for attending. We'd love to get to this community together. If you're watching us async, thanks for tuning in. And if you have any content you'd like to present at our next monthly EngRes The Gathering, I think it's mid-September, please send us a note at EngResAdmin@Protocol.ai, and we'll get that one on the agenda and schedule. And now go forth and build the future together. Love you all and have a wonderful rest of your Thursday.